don't be one of those people that want to be in every room. That's where people can go wrong at too.
Yeah, that's true.
I gotta be there because it's happening. I gotta be there because I want to be seen or see. Every conference has some kind of theme to it, and you need to figure out if that theme falls in with your objectives.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Marketing Mentality Podcast. I'm Desmond Walker.
And I'm Allen Shelton.
And what we do here is talk about what is required of as a marketer, as an entrepreneur, and just all the way around, just interesting business topics and ideas and just what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. But before we get into that, how you been? What's up? What you working on? How you feeling?
Yeah. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for asking. Thank you for the check-in. A lot's been going on, man. A lot of good things, a lot of great things. We are in Q4, all right? So it's one of those situations where time is moving way faster than you realize. You know, you feel like you've done a lot, but you also feel like there's a lot more to do, especially as the end of the year comes up. And I don't know, it's just a lot going on. But for me personally, I'm excited about a few different things that we have going on. First and foremost, I'm doing my first keynote on Monday, next Monday. So super excited about that.
That's a big deal.
Thank you, man. I'm going back to speak on during this week of events that they're doing, the SIU is doing, Southern Illinois University, where we both attended, graduated, esteemed alumni, some might say. But I'm going back to speak as a keynote opener for their marketing week, which is only the second time that they're doing this. So it wasn't around when we were there. Just started. I think it's a great initiative. I think it's a great thing to allow people, marketing students and beyond, not just marketing students, to learn about the American Marketing Association chapter at SIU. Right? I know we're a part of that here in Chicago.
So it is with their AMA.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a local chapter there that they're hosting a whole week of events. Yeah. So I'm speaking to open up the event. Yeah. And it's a big deal, man. I'm excited about it. I think anytime you get the opportunity to speak to the younger generation in a place where you were at almost I was a senior in college 10 years ago. So, which doesn't feel like that, but it's cool to go back and not be a 20 or 30-year-old veteran in college, but still have that attachment to be there and go back and speak. So I'm excited about it, man. It's a keynote, so about 45 minutes of talking and just pouring wisdom into it. I always tell myself, like, if one person, a couple people can take away something I said, then I did my job. But I'm excited about it, man. So that's the biggest
That's
thing.
real noble of you. That's real noble. That is a big deal, though. So congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Do you know how many students are expected?
I don't know how many students are expected. They have an open registration. I haven't asked about the numbers or anything, but I am speaking to a couple classes, too, in the early part of that day. So I'm going to be recruiting them to come and speak and hear what I had to say. So it's going to be cool.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm a little disappointed I won't be able to make it like I anticipated. Got to take the show on the road that day, but I'm sure you'll represent well.
Yeah, and it's on video, so I'll run it back and watch it on YouTube or something.
For sure. We also did the 5K this past week.
We ran a 5K.
Me and you. Shout out to Corey as well.
Shout out to Corey and Walter. Yeah. That was, I never run a 5K before. That was the longest distance I've ever run at one time. You know, in high school, they do that. We know. In high school, you know, they have those fitness tests. Like they have like once a season or something like that, where everybody got to do the push-ups and the pull-ups and run the mile and stuff like that. I always just did that. I never run anything like that. But it was, honestly, after the 5K, it felt like a big accomplishment because it's a mental battle more than anything. Running around Bronzeville, that 30+ minutes.
Time goes by so much slower,
bro.
When you're exercising, it's crazy.
Man, you argue
5
with
minutes
yourself.
feels like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
honestly.
But we did it, man. Like nobody can take that away. We still in good health.
Yeah. Also, just on the topic of branding and marketing, it was dope too. Very purposeful to be able to do the work of designing the logo, the merch, the collateral, backdrop.
Yeah.
Helping lift up the sponsors that poured into it. So shout out to Walter on our team at Narrative for really doing the heavy lifting on that and bringing it to life.
Yeah, and him being from Bronzeville as well.
And being the mayor of Bronzeville makes a whole, 360 as far as that goes. So we'll be back on that in that capacity for sure.
Yeah,
and
better times. Keep on ticking up the timing.
Yeah.
You know, how we finished the race. But yeah, it was super dope.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. What are we talking about?
We're talking about a bit, man. Our production team told us that we could cut down some of these podcasts, like make it shorter and more impactful versus like making it 2 hours long. But I have a little bit to talk about, man. A lot of different things in culture.
I hear the streets are talking.
Yeah.
The streets are talking about these conferences and these festivals and summits. And there's, a little bit of contention about the experiences and how people are feeling like they're getting anything out of it or not.
Yeah. It's interesting, man, because the one year, I think it was 2022 or 2023, we went to like 3 or 4 conferences, like major conferences, and that felt like a whirlwind. I always say that professional conferences are like Coachella, but in a professional setting. It takes a lot of energy. It's a lot of talking, a lot of moving around. It's literally a lot.
Yeah.
But we've had the privilege and the blessing to be able to attend major conferences like that, like the AfroTechs and the Inbounds of the world, but also be on the planning side of it for pretty big conferences as well. Mm-hmm. So to your point, there's a lot of discourse that has been going around CultureCon in particular that just happened, right? It just ended this past weekend.
What else? There's CultureCon.
It was CultureCon and then InvestFest.
InvestFest was when?
When was it?
August, I think.
Was it in August? I'm going to fact check that.
And then Essence Fest was back in July.
Yeah.
And I mean, anyone that's in the space of attending conferences know that there's always going to be a rotation every year of these things on the calendar. So the discourse, though, right now is active and people are talking one way or the other. There's discourse about the discourse. There's the attendance, there's the planning, there's so many different moving parts.
A lot of moving parts.
I think kind of taking a step back as people that have both attended and planned or supported the planning of, we have our own POV.
Exactly.
That could hold some value for people that are watching.
It really is, man. So let's talk about it. I want to start from the planning side of it that people maybe aren't privy to. If you're not average, but if you're an attendee going to the event, you just buy your ticket or register and you just go. You don't see nothing else but the activations and the bright lights and the stages and different things. That's all you know.
Well, let's back up for a second.
Okay.
So let's break this down. A conference, a summit, a festival, kind of making festival a variable because festivals are traditionally more social. It's concerts and everything. But you have kind of some professional components to that as well, particularly with Essence Fest or Invest Fest. But just breaking this all the way down to the bottom first, what is the purpose of a conference and what is the benefit of attending a conference?
Yeah. So there's a couple different things, right? The purpose of it is to create a home, essentially, for a few days, a week, whatever you call it, where people, like-minded people that serve that same purpose come into and interact with each other, but also benefit from the different activations or the conversations that are happening that are being programmed throughout that week or weekend, whatever the case may be.
Right.
With the hope that when you walk away, when you're there, you'll enjoy yourself thoroughly. But when you walk away, you're able to take something with you that you can then apply to your life or somebody else's life that would help elevate that as well. And that's your version.
And that's the what's in it for me.
Yeah.
As an employee or as anyone for that matter that may get something out of it.
Yep.
Okay. So how do you prepare for a conference?
Yeah, that's a great question. We both can answer this. I think there's this stigma. I know there's just a stigma that you pay for your conference or your festival ticket and you go, and then all this information is just dumped onto you. Like you walk in and you just transform immediately right when you walk past the threshold. But reality doesn't work like that. We talked about this just now. Going to a conference is work. Yeah. It's literally work. And the best way, in my opinion, that you plan for that is the preparation. You have the event lineup, right? So which talking points or which panels are you interested in hearing about based upon the title? Circle and note. You can't go to every single one. It's virtually impossible. It is impossible to go to every single one because they're happening concurrently. So which ones do I really want to go to? Which ones I kind of want to go to? What breaks do I want to have? Because I know I'm not going to be sitting there for 8 hours listening to people talk because it's exhausting. And then, honestly, from there, it's sitting your ass front two rows, getting there early, and being a super sponge, taking notes, listening intently. Yeah.
It's interesting you actually say front row because when I was thinking about this earlier, I likened attending a conference, especially when you've never been to or in a place you've never been to or with people you don't know, to the first day of school where you get the kind of jitters to put yourself in position where you're visible, where you're vulnerable, and where you don't know nothing until you know it. So first row.
Yeah, first row. You have to make an impression. There's a culture, there's a conference or a festival culture, and you're the new kid. Right? Yeah. Everybody doesn't know. You're going to be around those people, those certain groups of people for however many days straight. So what impression are you leaving on those people? What impression are you starting in with, and then what impression are you leaving? So if you're the person that's sitting in the front row, just like you said, class, you already setting the tone. Like I'm not here to just kiki. Like I'm gonna kiki a little bit because that's what it's a social aspect to it. But I'm here to get some information. I pay for my ticket. I'm here to get what I'm here to get, and then go home with some stuff as well.
What does that do for you tangibly though? Sitting in the front row like that. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, it may even feel good. What tangibly is the difference between sitting in the front row at a conference and
person in the back? One, you have visibility with the person that's speaking, and you have the opportunity to, when your hands get raised to ask a question, you have more likelihood to get your hand picked on because you're sitting right there in front of their face.
Yeah, that's true.
Versus sitting all the way in the back, it's like, oh, well, you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Kind of a side note, I was reminded of that last week when we had our event at our office with the Chicago Sky. Yeah. And it was time for Q&A with the panel. Yeah. And I was navigating the room with the mic for people to ask their question. And of course, my attention immediately gravitated to people in the front. Exactly. Which I felt bad at first. And so I tried to kind of be equitable in terms of
when you ask them a question,
giving everybody a chance. But also that is the advantage though, because the people that are in the front for a reason. That's because they either were intent on getting to the front or they showed up early enough to get in front, or both. Yeah. And it made a difference.
Yeah. You know, it really does. Yeah. And then it makes a difference too to the speaker as well. They'll see that person, like they might shout you out. They might be like, oh, this person is at the front of every situation that we've been having this entire conference. Right? It makes your personal brand, your brand, that much more formidable, especially if you're looking for a new opportunity like a job or internship or whatever. They're like, oh, this person at the front of the conference that they don't have to sit in front of, then let's do it. So that's number one, just some preparation in terms of making sure you understand what sections of the conference you want to go to, sitting in the front row, taking notes, asking a question, even if you don't think of a question that you're wanting to ask at the end, and then make sure you ask it even if you don't get a chance to, have it on your mind. Okay. And then, that's the biggest thing for me in terms of preparation.
Okay. So what's on our checklist? We got prepare.
Yep.
By knowing what sessions you want to attend. Yep. Assuming this is a multi-session event.
What sessions you want to attend, bring up a good point, but also which people you want to connect to.
Who you want to connect to.
If you know that people are going, it might not be the speaker, the keynote speaker, or whatever the case may be, it would be great if you can connect with them. But if you know some people that are in your network or adjacent to your network that you haven't had a chance to connect to, and they say on LinkedIn that they're going to be there, scheduling some time to speak with them as well, I think is super important.
Okay, that's a good tip. Yeah. This was actually guidance I gave a client a couple months back as far as looking on social media, searching the keywords, whether it's the name of the conference itself, or I mean, that's really the one, and engaging with those folks. Yeah. If they're making posts saying it, they'll be there as well. As a speaker or frankly as an attendee. That's a whole nother pillar to this.
Exactly. Because that's a hack, bro. Like a lot of times people think all the interaction, all the networking happens within those walls of the actual where the conference is happening. But if you're smart,
hopefully.
Happen before and during, but maybe outside. After. You're like, you know what? Do you want to go to this session? Yeah, I want to go to this session, but you want to just grab some lunch and I need a break. You want to grab some lunch, we can connect. That's where that real power is, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I remember that happening at Black Week last year. This is Black Week, ironically, in New York, and we'll get into that a little bit. But I remember before we got there, I got a DM. I think we both got a DM on LinkedIn from,
Who was that?
I know his name, but he worked at Revolt at the time. Yeah. And Revolt hosted a happy hour in New York during Black Week. Yeah. And that DM had the invitation to it. And so it was nice to already have that kind of on the itinerary lined up ahead of time, because otherwise it would have just been subject to chance to run into him.
Exactly.
And
which is hard.
Be made aware, which can be hard at a larger scale event. But otherwise.
Yeah. So being able to prepare, know who you want to connect with, people you want to connect to. Yeah. And then even before that, what are your goals of attending this conference? What do you want to take away from it? Are you looking for a new job? Are you looking to just network in your community? Are you building a new community? Are you looking to get some tips tangibly? Just knowing that. But just going in, a lot of this discourse that's been happening is around benefit of what do I get from this? Oh, I didn't get a lot of benefit. But are you asking yourself, what was my goal of going into this? Because you just going with no goals, like I just want to get whatever I want to get, and then you come up short. Yeah. You got to ask yourself, what did I go in there for? What was my intent? Right. And I think we miss that a lot of times going to these conferences. You know? And then we're quick to judge, you know?
Yeah. I think the most obvious intent, but also almost like I don't want to say least valuable, but not as valuable as it's taken, is the programming, the content of a conference, what topics you mentioned, what sessions to attend being something that people should prepare for. Yeah. But also I think people go into a conference putting too much, like over indexing on what value, right? Yeah. They get out of that, because 9 times out of 10 you walk into a conference and you are going to hear the same conversation being had on stage that you've heard before or that you already know. Now, granted, there's still power in repetition and muscle memory, whether it's kind of a technical topic or it's just something that's like, you know, just a way you need to think type of topic, whatever. But also, point being, programming is one thing, networking is another, relationship building is another. Yeah. And as much as it's about the programming and the content of the conference, it's about who are you in the room with and whether you had a skill set to engage with people in the room.
Yeah, it really is. It's like the game within the game. The conference is one thing, but there's several layers and pillars you have to be able to prepare yourself. Even the most social person, I think I'm a pretty big social person, but my battery would dwindle quickly in that conference setting because you're intently looking to connect with people. Yeah, that you might not be if you're just in your hometown. Yeah, where you might go to a conference here and there. I mean, or a mixer here and there.
Yeah, you definitely got to have energy. You got to. That's one thing to prepare for too, is how to regulate your social battery. Yeah, physically, your body, and all the way around. Even like, what meals are you eating? Are you eating burgers and fries and chicken tenders for 3 days straight? Yeah. Because if so, and that's probably gonna be me, but if so, you gotta anticipate that that's gonna deplete your energy versus, you know, some things that are more nutritious or just, you know, giving you the electrolytes.
It is. Because the last thing you want is to waste time. You don't want to be like, I'm about to take a nap, and then you miss the opportunity to meet your next opportunity. Yeah.
It actually has me kind of getting a little bit of FOMO, just knowing that we haven't really made the time and budget to get around like we have to these different events. Yeah. But, you know, we've had our fair share, and we'll get back into the swing. But it's definitely, I would say, you would probably say too, something that's worth it.
Yeah, it is.
Overall.
Like I said, I think it's worth it if you know what you're going there for and what you're getting, but also what you're not getting. Yeah. So that's why I want to bring this up. There's been a lot of discourse around CultureCon that just happened this past weekend. And it was...
Wait, I'm sorry. Yeah. Before we do that, can we kind of close the loop as far as, you know...
benefits?
Identify what conferences you want to attend or events you want to attend.
Yeah.
You've navigated... You pulled up, you attended, you're navigating, right? You're meeting people, you're getting emails, you're getting numbers, you're, you know, having a lot of banter about the idea of what to do afterward. And then that time comes, right? And we know from our own doing or lack thereof that it stops. It stops most of the time for most people. But what's that part of the checklist look like, you would say? Yeah.
So one, I would say when you go to any conference, you're going to walk away with a whole bunch of contacts, 30, 40 contacts, emails, new LinkedIn connections, numbers. It's overwhelming, to say the least. But the power, I truly believe that the power of getting the most out of these conferences is the follow-up. The quick, concise follow-up as well. Not 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, I'm caught up. You have to intently say, you know what? And each follow-up is going to look different, right? Because you might need or you might be able to offer something different depending on who you're talking to. But that needs to be the first thing. That's something that we had to grow, have opportunity with. When you get back,
we're not good at. We're not good at it.
Yeah, we're not good at. Like when you on that plane, going back or on that road going back, you need to be thinking like, you know what? I'm following up with this person. I'm scheduling the emails. I'm scheduling this time. You need a day or two to really just make sure, because in a week, everybody's moved on to the next thing. They're back to work. They already missed a few days from work, so they got to catch up from work. They got a lot of things to do. But you want to be on the top of that person's mind to schedule another meeting, to say what you want to do for them versus what you need from them. That's the biggest thing as well. You go into these conferences, and a lot of times it's, what can I get versus what can I offer to someone else? Right. And then let that come full circle. Yeah. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. I think, though, it's... All right, so it's really a double-edged sword to me. And the reason I say that is because there's the quick follow-up component. Yeah. And timing can be everything on that. Yep. Because the conversation you have face-to-face can quickly water itself down to someone's priorities moving away. Yeah. Or they were just bullshitting you face-to-face. And then once they're back in the comfort of their own domain, they don't have to answer email, they don't have to answer a call, they don't have to answer a text, which is...
It's all good.
That is what it is. It's all good. But also, there's the business case for someone connecting with you, right? So, for example, it's easy to follow up and say, hey, let's connect. Or say at the conference, let's connect. And then what does connect actually look like? What can I do for you? Or what can you do for me is often, overlooked. Yep. Right? Like people don't connect just to connect. Some people do, don't get me wrong. And there's value in organically, creating that path, right, through the forest to figure out where you're actually going. Like it doesn't take anything away from people sometimes to take 30 minutes and meet and have an intro, right? Yeah. What happens after that? So I think that's the part that has to, it's nice to go into it, having some kind of strategy to it, but also sometimes you don't know until you know either.
Yeah, you got to shake that tree. And it's important to know that you're not going to align and connect with everyone that you connected with in that conference right now. You might not connect with them ever. It just might not make sense.
Yeah. I just think it's good to be honest about that with yourself too, and not waste your time, not waste other people's time. And, again, it's easier said than done, but you got to have some kind of idea of why you're trying to communicate or engage with someone, especially when you're talking about rooms where, you know, there's high caliber people that have a lot of shit going on and not a bunch of time. And so the fluff, there's really no room for it. Fluff. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so you got to understand that, otherwise you'll just get kind of lost in the atmosphere as far as other people's priorities.
And you hurt your own feelings thinking that, oh, this person needs to reach back out to me, or we connected, and then now we're not doing a follow-up. You got to take emotions. You got to take that ego out of it.
It's not personal most of the time.
You got to take that ego out of it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. I think the other thing we neglected to talk about real quick, too, as far as attending a conference goes, too, is the cost associated with it. Yeah. These conferences ain't cheap.
Yeah, and not just the ticket either.
And it's not just the ticket. If you're traveling, there's flight, there's hotel or Airbnb, there's food, there's ride share, and whatever else miscellaneous comes up. So, as an employee, do I have to come out of pocket for that? Is there a way to help get this sponsored, either in whole or in part? How should I go about that? If I'm hopping on Google and I see an event in New York that I want to attend, but I'm in Chicago and it's $1,500 to get there, or not even to get there, but I mean, maybe to get there or just for the ticket alone. What's my next move?
I would say closed mouths don't get fed. I mean, the biggest thing I see from an employee perspective is the lack of wanting to ask, right? And I would say ask, but also, again, what can I do for you versus what you can do for me? You know what I'm saying? We hear that well all the time. I give you what you want, but can you give me what I want? Is the question. If an employee is trying to go to a conference or go to an event that they feel like can benefit themselves, but also the company, that needs to be presented, right? How, in which ways? What are you going to benefit from? How can it help benefit us as a whole, since you work here? And what is the goal, the overarching goal, as we talked about? You know, so laying that out, again, like you said, you might not be able to get the entire thing sponsored, but maybe certain aspects of it. Also, I would say reaching out directly to the conference or somebody that's connected to the conference and see, like, hey, I am in this space. This is what I do. I would love to attend the event in whatever capacity I can to get a comp ticket. Closed mouths don't get fed. There's a lot of comp tickets that go around out here that you might not know because you feel like it might not be the case. But I mean, it's an ask, you know? And if the answer is no, then the answer is no. But at least you asked, and then the employer can see that you have a zeal or effort, because most people don't ask. Right. They're like, oh, well, this is going to be too much. I'm not going to ask at all. So, yeah. What would you say?
You know who they need to talk to?
Who?
Correa
Carthens. That's what they need to talk to.
I think that's who they need to talk to.
They need to talk to Correa.
If you're out there, you're considering attending a conference, and you really, really want to make a case for getting there, talk to Correa. Talk to Correa and Narraton. She'll help you put together a nice deck proposal.
Nice package, like all.
She'll have all the talking points, all the proof points,
and delivery as well. Yeah,
you might get the answer you want.
Exactly,
or at least in part. Exactly. But otherwise, though, you know, really what prompted, I think, this topic of conversation, right, is, as we said at the beginning, the discourse surrounding a few marquee events in the culture, in the Black community, and the discourse of the discourse. And so, what's like, where we want to start with? What happened first this year? Was it not CultureCon? CultureCon was just this past week.
InvestFest.
I think Essence Fest is what really kind of stood out this year. Yeah. So
talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So we've never been to Essence Fest.
No, I haven't.
But Essence Fest, for anyone that doesn't know, has been going on for a long time now. Probably at least the last 20 years, I would say. 20, yeah. Again, this is coming from someone who has never been. Right. So it may be longer than that. Attended by tens of thousands of people, if not hundreds of thousands, in its peak. I don't think they're at their peak right now, but
it's a marquee event.
It's a marquee event. It's down in New Orleans. Yeah. It's hosted by Essence, the media brand. And it's a big deal.
Yep.
But this year, there was a lot of criticism surrounding it, the logistics of it. There were a lot of delays as the, dialogue pointed out. And the answer, not so much the answer, but the question I think is why? Because as someone attending the event, that's not necessarily glaringly obvious.
Right.
Why? Why would an event, have all of these different flaws to it?
Yeah.
And as people that have planned events, facilitated events, curated events, both at a small scale and large scale, I think we have a POV that could kind of, we're not Essence, we don't know all the facts.
Yeah.
But, there's reasons for that.
It is. I think the biggest thing I think people miss is there are a lot of layers that go into this spectacle that you walk into that you don't even see. You just shouldn't have to see. But people are, I think naturally we're quick to judge without question. I think when you have a marquee event, we said there's expectation that comes with it, right? Pressures are privilege. There's expectation that comes with going to an event. You should get what you pay for, your money's worth. You should have a nice, smooth event. And that's on the event organizer to make sure you have that.
Yeah.
But with that, I think there are some things that would help to add clarity. Just so you understand, because without understanding, you just think something is wrong or somebody's doing you a disservice on purpose or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So I think it starts there.
Yeah. I think it starts with the money first.
Okay. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So in the words of Mr. Clarence Avant, everything in life begins with a number and ends with a number. Everything in life is numbers. And for a large scale event, for an event that you have to first find a space to house a scalable amount of people, like thousands of people, that's not a cheap ticket. I'm talking about easily in the tens of thousands at the low end. And
ordinance, citations, everything.
You have to pay for permits, ordinance, citations. You have to pay for insurance because if someone slips and falls, they're going to blame it on you and they're going to sue you. We've seen that. You have to pay for the actual venue costs. You have to pay for security. You have to pay for food if you're feeding people.
Setup costs,
which really at that point moves beyond the actual venue to vendors. Right. So the question is, again, why, or more so, I think, how does that get paid for in this case?
Yeah.
Is it coming out of pocket?
Partially, maybe.
Partially, if your event is small enough for that to be realistic and you're well off enough for that to be realistic. But for an event like Essence Fest, who's paying for that?
Sponsors.
Corporate America. So that's clearly not as simple as knocking on Walmart's door asking for a check. You have to have a relationship and a company that is already established enough to be in business with a Fortune 500 company that it makes sense. Your following, your audience has to be big enough. And then we get to talking about the numbers, right? Then, you have timing, right? The way corporate America works is they're not always quick to write checks. So that's all to say that I think because as much as money can be generated with these events, and the expenses are there too. So there has to be a sweet spot between when you know what money you're getting and that allowing you to determine what you can spend.
Exactly. You can anticipate, right? You do projections to figure out who came in last year or what new sponsors you're looking to attract to help pay for this stuff.
Right.
But the sponsor, which you touched on, has their own agenda too, right? They're not just putting this money just as a just because. Some sponsors do, like this, you know what, this is a donation to the conference. We believe what you're doing. But most of the time,
it's like, we want.
Right. We have this money, but we want this big activation, this big space, so we can attract new audiences to our brand, our company. Yeah.
So as a sponsor, what you're saying is, as a sponsor, I'm not just, it's not philanthropy, right? But I'm putting my brand in front of an audience, and I need to maximize the visibility. Yeah. So I need my logo everywhere. I need signage everywhere. I need to be able to give out my product to as many people. Yeah. Right. And that needs to be abundantly clear to me before you secure this money.
And then times that by however many sponsors that you want to bring in, right? Because more sponsors equals more money, but also more expectation, more benefit on what they have.
Right. So the reality is best that these conversations kick off the day after the event happens for that following year. Yep. Number one. So that's where the timing is everything, is of the essence, no pun intended there. So there's that. Then you have to cross your fingers and do the work of getting butts in the seats on the floors there.
The marketing. If you already have an established conference or brand, that's a lot easier. Yeah. Right? Essence Fest, almost like this point, it tells itself, right? It's to a certain extent. I mean, you have a built-in audience with that at this point.
Yeah, that you can't neglect though. Right. And I think also you have to keep being like fresh and innovative. Yeah. And in this case, I actually hear that. So I watched this interview with the Breakfast Club and Richie Lou Dennis, who's the owner of Essence Communications. So he kind of broke all of this down and kind of, you know, was able to identify, I think pretty transparently, what the causes of the hiccups were. And what he broke down was, number one, they hired a new production company. Yeah. So that's the whole aspect too. I think many people as guests or attendees don't necessarily fathom is that this brand may be the face, right? But there's so many different businesses that bring it to the to sea level.
A lot of different people, an
event that is Essence, right, can literally be like all the heavy lifting can be done by companies that are not Essence. And in this case, what he broke down was that they had been intent on hiring
black owned.
It sounds like black owned, and it sounds like a company that otherwise would not have gotten the opportunity to do an event at that scale. And so their heart was in a good place as far as granting the opportunity, but also it seemed like in hindsight they hadn't done the due diligence of ensuring that their vision was really, the vision was laid out, but the execution hadn't been laid out. And so speaker problems, scheduling problems, things like that kind of came to a head.
Yeah. Which, I mean, happens in production. Yeah. Hiccups happen, even the ones you don't see. That doesn't seem like hiccups do happen in the background. That's just the trend or the expectation with large scale events. Right. But
why though? For an event that's been around for years, what would really be done?
Honestly, I think I'll back up a little bit. Going back to the point where I was saying, even the stuff that you don't see, the Grammys, the biggest award shows, whatever the case you may be able to think of, black led or not, have things in the background that happen that you just can't anticipate. Yeah, it's just the nature, just human nature, right? The things that happen. It's about what you do to pivot the situation to make it go in your favor, right? But it's...
And 9 times out of 10, you won't even notice.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. You won't even notice. Yeah. So if you do notice it, that means that it's really... that means they noticed it and you noticed it, and now it's the situation. Yeah. But I think in our community, speaking of the black community in Essence Fest, I think we're quick. I don't think we give enough... I think we're quicker to judge a situation or trying to find something wrong with it. Everything else could have went perfect, but we're going to highlight the moments that weren't perfect.
Yeah.
Or how it could have been better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the part that I don't like as much. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to do that, right?
Yeah.
With the person that's not behind this or helping contribute to what the event is. You know what I'm saying?
Plus, human nature in itself entices us to get on the bandwagon, get on the wave, get on the train when it comes to the wins and the things you get right. And we're a whole lot less inclined to be there when you got to explain why something got effed up.
Exactly. Yep.
Or something went wrong.
Yep.
That's not a popularity contest at all. So that is what it is. But otherwise, yeah, you know, I think the whole point being when it comes to Essence Fest is that, you know, it requires a hell of a lot to pull something like that off, even if you have been doing it.
Kudos. Even attempting to do that and do it for so long is
especially if you want to do it differently.
Yeah.
So, but it seems like where the breakdown there in that case was primarily from a vendor perspective, getting things right and kind of centralizing all the effort that went into it to a sweet spot without it being as fragmented, because it seemed that it showed.
Definitely.
So the other big event these last few months was InvestFest. I personally didn't hear a bunch of criticism about InvestFest this year.
Yeah.
Last year, however, there seemed to be problems that got, again, probably blown out of proportion for as big as they were compared to the broader outcome of the event. But in that case, did you hear anything about InvestFest?
No, only thing I've been hearing is that, again, going back to the goals and what people are going in, the expectations that they have going into it versus what they walk away with. Yeah. And again, like I said a little bit earlier, I think it boils down to the individual. If you have these high expectations that, like, yeah, I'm about to get 20 investors for my project, that might not be the right expectation that you have. Yeah. You know, go in with lower expectations and then be pleasantly surprised, but also be willing to pour into what you want to make happen. Yeah. That's what it is. You know, speaking from, again, we'll get into it more as well, speaking from a person that's been to several conferences, I truly believe you're only going to get out of it what you pour into it.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you're not willing to actually pour into it, you don't get upset or don't get on the internet saying that this conference isn't this, it wasn't that. But you didn't put in the ample amount of work to actually get the returns you want. Right. Because the conference is just a space with people inside of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It sucks though, honestly, that at risk of stating the obvious, we have so little in terms of Black people. And for us to still have just a few super, super, super dope things at our disposal, particularly with major events. It sucks though that what's inevitable is that there will be kinks to work out. There will be some pain that you gotta suffer to build anything, right?
Pre, during, and after.
Yeah, it just sucks that we don't always get that grace, or even
not even a little bit.
Yeah, give ourselves that grace. And the problem where this comes in, that I think, and just kind of moving to CultureCon as well, more recently in the last week, and just right now in 2025, is that when we put too much amplification on the criticism, there's others that are watching, listening, and using it against us. And
using that as fact. They look at that as fact. Like, okay, I'm going to be a little bit more hesitant to invest in this now because I heard X, Y, Z, and that might even be all the way the truth.
Exactly. You know? And that has real business implications for the worst when that happens. Because now I may have had a harder time 2020 to 2024 with explaining why I can't write this check. Right. Now I got
reasons.
And
the people that it's meant to benefit are giving me these reasons. Yeah. That's when you start to jeopardize.
You shooting your own self in the fucking foot, frankly, which is messed up, because then come 2026 and we looking at the calendar and we like, hold on, this ain't happening. I don't see nothing about Essence Fest this year.
Right.
Ain't no Essence Fest this year. Ain't no Invest Fest this year. Ain't no CultureCon this year. Ain't no AfroTech this year. Ain't no Black Week this year. Why not? What happened?
Then that's when the real uproar happens. Then but you're the same person.
Then it's gonna be an uproar.
Right.
Then we're gonna be scratching our heads, figuring out what do we do.
Yeah.
Why? Like, and then somebody has to hopefully come in and do it again.
Yeah.
And do it, and it take another 10 years to build it up.
Yeah.
To something that's big enough. So.
Yeah, it's sad. I don't like when we do that. And again, and the thing is with that is the mass majority of people appreciate these type of conferences, right?
Yeah.
They benefit from it. They meet people that they've known, people that they haven't known.
Yeah.
But it's always a small percentage of people that want to, talk bad about it, right? Because they didn't have a good experience personally. Yeah. We don't know the full context of how they poured into it. You know what I'm saying? So I truly dislike that. Yeah. What would you say to someone that went to one of these conferences and said, like, you know what, I didn't take anything from that. You know, I was expecting more, or I didn't walk away with anything.
It goes back to what I said before as far as managing your expectations of what your ROI looks like. Programming is one thing. Work in the room is another. Do you have the skill set to work the room?
Yeah.
And don't get confused. A social battery or whether you're an extrovert or introvert doesn't matter. Coming from an introvert naturally, right? But if I'm in a room and I'm in a room with purpose, if I'm in a room where I know myself, I have some form of an idea of what my icebreakers should be, or what my talking points should be, or what my, something I actually learned from you is go into a room and already know like what that next step lever needs to be in the conversation. Because the reality is at a conference, you can't sit there and have a 30-minute conversation with each person you interact with. Oftentimes it's like 30 seconds. So you got to know, you got to have the beginning, middle, and end. And that end can be, all right, well, let's, tap this dot card, let's connect on LinkedIn, and let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
So for anyone, to answer your question, that is confused as far as why they didn't get something out of the room, I'm going to go out on a limb and say 9 times out of 10, it's you. You're the problem. You either didn't have your expectations put together, or you didn't prepare, or you need to probably hone those work in the room skills.
Yeah, I would agree. Because when I think about it, the room, whether you like the programming or not, or the people in the space, you bought that ticket. You wanted to go in there because you thought you saw the benefit from the outside. Looking at whether it's your first time or 10th time going to a particular conference, you know that the right people are in that space, are being attracted to that space. So you want to insert yourself in that room for a reason. For you to blame the conference for you not benefiting anything, I can get it. Like, you know what, I wanted more or something like that. But I did get all this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for you not to get anything, or for like it's just completely pointless, I don't believe that. That has to be more of an internal thing.
Yeah. You know what? I'll take something I said back.
Okay.
Because how do I say this? Don't be one of those people that want to be in every room. That's where people can go wrong at too.
Yeah, that's true.
I gotta be there because it's happening. I gotta be there because I want to be seen or see. Every conference has some kind of theme to it, and you need to figure out if that theme falls in with your objectives.
Yeah.
And even when you do that, it's fair to admit too that sometimes you attended a conference and nothing panned out. Yeah. And it ain't your fault. And it ain't nobody else's. Nobody's fault. Comes with the territory, but you keep shooting at the rim and making some of the shots you attempt. Right. We've attended conferences, events, paid money for them, and not pennies, and can't say that we got a tangible outcome out of it. Yeah. We've attended conferences that we did get a tangible outcome out of. We've gotten a 6-figure contract out of. We've gotten partnerships out of. We've gotten relationships out of that turned into a relationship with someone else that wasn't that conference, but was a Rolodex type of situation where somebody pointed us to someone. So I think, similar to with anything in life, like that's like having $1,000 to put in the stock market, putting 1,000 in, losing it because you put that $1,000 in one stock.
Right.
What did you expect to happen? Right. But if I say, all right, I got $1,000 to spend, I'm gonna put 50 here, 75 there, 20 there, you know, you're probably gonna be pointed in the right direction overall. If this is don't go to the gym one day and be like, well,
expect the results. And the last thing I'll say too, results look different depending on what the expectation is. Yeah. Right. So you might go in expecting a job opportunity or a relationship that might lead to a new client. Yeah. But that might not flip over for another year or 2 years. Right. You know what I'm saying? But that seed was planted at that conference. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It might not be the season to get it right the next day. Yeah. But you look up and be like, oh, we met at the conference. That happened with us. Like, so
perpetuity.
Yeah, perpetuity.
Yeah. So shout out to Black Week.
Shout out to Black Week. Sorry couldn't make it this year.
I'm sure they're not missing us. Shout out to AfroTech.
AfroTech.
What else is coming up this year?
Those are, the year's almost over, bro.
Yeah. What's the one that's usually on the West Coast come like November?
Is it
December? Ad Color?
I think
it's Ad Color every year. There's Ad Color, but then there's the ANA. I think the ANA multicultural conference as well. Yeah. That's not a cheap ticket either. Still trying to figure out how to get that sponsored. Yeah. That would be dope. We should figure out something.
Talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's another one? It's not really black. Well, that one isn't black either, but Can. The Can.
Can.
Advertising.
You don't hear too many
people talk about.
People just like being in Can. People that want to be in the room. Right. To be in the room. We could create our own here in Chicago, so we don't have to pay for a flight.
Exactly. I think we would kill that. Have our own conference.
Yeah.
It would be a lot to go into it, but I think we can do it.
Certainly, I think a void for it. Mm-hmm. It's also a void in sponsorship checks that we got lined up, helping us put that on.
But you start where you start. I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah. You know, go out, bust out the gate with 100,000 registrations. All
right, let's talk about that.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of Marketing Mentality, where we get really granular, really just down to earth about everything happening in marketing, culture, entrepreneurship, business, you name it, man. We are here to elevate the conversations, tell you a little bit more about our story, but also understanding yours while offering practical examples of how to accomplish your goals, however that looks. We will be back again and again. You cannot get rid of us. Subscribe, like, share, tell somebody else, give us guest opportunities or anything that will help us benefit this platform. We're here for you. So check in next time. Y'all be blessed. Talk soon.